Hey guys, what's up? It's Sagittarius2744 here today to address kind of a small issue over the iPad 2. Now, I prefer to it as a small issue. Some of you guys actually might prefer to it as a bigger issue on the iPad 2. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the screen bleeding of the iPad 2, and then I'm going to go into some deep detail about what the screen bleeding could possibly be caused by, and really what I think it is caused by. So I'm going to go ahead and enter the photo here. This is just a plain black image. And I'm going to go ahead and shut off the lights so you guys can see it a bit clearer. Now, first thing you're going to be able to see right here, right now, is the screen bleeding. And it's kind of really noticeable on my iOS device here. It's all around the edges here. It's all around the right side top. And there's a big dot of screen bleeding right here if you guys can't see that. Now, screen bleeding to me is somewhat annoying when you're watching a video or playing a game with black edges such as Infinity Blade. When it does the story mode, the top here is black and you can see a lot of the screen bleeding. It is kind of annoying, but to me it's not worth returning it. If it gets a little worse, I might return it and get another one. If not, I'll just live with it. But I heard from screen bleeding that it was caused by the smart cover. I strongly disagree with that. I gotta say, it's not because of the smart cover, because I've never had a smart cover on here, and some of you guys say there's magnets on the edge of the smart cover. I actually conducted a test where I put a magnet on my iPad 2, and there was nothing defected about the screen due to magnets. So, basically, not the smart cover. I've also heard that during the hardware building of the iPad 2, when they press the screen on the back end of the iPad 2, maybe it was pressed a little bit hard and it caused some damage to the edges of the screen. It's not that. What I think it is simply the glue underneath the iPad 2. Now let me go ahead and explain this. Basically, this error, screen bleeding, was also seen in some people's iPod Touch. Basically, I did see it on my iPod Touch when I first got my iPod Touch. But it wasn't a big deal because after a day or two, it actually disappeared completely, and it never became much of an issue. Now, how did that disappear? Because, well, basically, how did the iPhone and iPod Touch screen bleeding disappear, and the iPad 2 screen bleeding is still here? Basically, on the iPod Touch, it's a smaller screen, so letting the glue harden and basically dry won't take as long, and with a bigger screen with a lot more glue, it'll take longer time to dry and harden. So in the case of this, what they did is supposedly they took the back of it and they glued the screen down to the back of the iPad 2. Now the problem is when they were building it, the glue had a hard time drying and hardening, which is what it's supposed to do and what it did throughout the middle of the screen here, except around the edges. Now, in this case, it kind of bleeds through the screen, as you guys saw, which is kind of an LCD effect. Maybe the glue got up in the screen and simply caused a problem with the screen itself. So I do think it was the glue that holds the screen to the iPad 2. That's the most legit answer I have found. That's basically what I think it is. Now, like I said, whether or not to return it or not, that's all up to you. If it gets worse, maybe you want to return it. If it doesn't really do anything and it doesn't really bother you and you don't think it's a big problem, don't take the time to return it. Whatever, it's your choice, but I just wanted to go ahead and hopefully put an answer to lots of your guys' questions about screen bleeding and simply say it's caused by the glue around the edges. So I've heard that, you know, with me, on day one when I got this and I checked screen bleeding, it wasn't near as bad as today is. I think it is that, and this also points to the idea that it's caused by the glue. Also, I played Infinity Blade all day, and it made my iPad 2 very, very, very overheated. Now, I wasn't taking extreme caution to that until after a while. So, after a while, I shut off my iPad, and then when I decided to do this video, I went back onto the black photo here, and I noticed that there was a lot more screen bleeding. So that points to kind of more of the fact that maybe it is caused by the glue, because when my iPad 2 got overheated, maybe it caused some of the glue to soften or dry, which then caused more screen bleeding. So I do think it is caused by the glue on the iPad 2. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you guys think causes the iPad 2 screen bleeding. Tell me if my answer wasn't even legit, whatever. Just leave a comment in the comment section below. I'll get back to those comments as soon as possible. I do usually reply to those. Please also be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter, all in the description below. And please be sure to go ahead and get this good old thumbs up to this video if you guys like this video. Also, please subscribe to see more of the iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad. I do app reviews, tutorials, jailbreak, everything, all the time, anytime on the iOS devices. Thank you guys for watching this Secretary 2744.